Welcome to my Accent is No Accident podcast. I am your host, Maritza Perez, and we are here today with a man who has followed his passion since a young age and now is spreading it through teaching all over the world. His name, Evan Rabin. Rabin?
Rabin, thank you so much for
Rabin.
having me.
All right, Evan, let's read the bio to the audience so that they can get to know you better. Evan Rabin was born and raised in New York. After working in corporate America, doing enterprise sales or at Oracle and Rapid7, he formed Premier's Chess in September 2017. Premier Chess currently runs programs in 100 plus schools and companies, including the law firm Kramer Levin. Evan is a US Chess National Master. Welcome, Evan. It is an honor to have you as a guest on my podcast.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Great. So, Evan, I'm going to go ahead and ask you my signature question, and we can get to know you better and know about your story. So, tell me,
Sounds like a
Evan.
plan. Thank you.
So, tell me, Evan, what is your accent and why is not an accident?
So I wouldn't say I have the biggest accent in the world, but I did grow up in New York. So uh, my friend Jajaheen, actually one of my former business partners and good friends, actually used to say, I would like to say coffee and water. And yeah, I mean, all of one thing I actually take pride in is not only me, not only my parents, but all my grandparents were born and raised in New York. So we go back.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So, tell me a little bit about your story, how you started with chess, and let us get into more deep of all these youth years and your passion and how you followed your passion and where it has taken you today.
Yeah, so I got started in chess when I was in second grade. My brother and my dad taught me how to move the pieces just on a random weekend day, and then took interest. So I actually started the learning at the program at my school, the Churchill School in New York, that Women's International Master Shanaz Kennedy ran and actually continues to run today. And now I actually talk to Shanaz very often. We um, actually I got her a substitute actually today even for one of her classes. And yeah, we run tournaments and things like that together. But yeah, without getting sidetracked, basically, yeah, it was always a big passion. 2 months after I learned how to move the pieces, I went to the nationals for the first time, and pretty much since then, I've never looked back, and I've been playing, yeah, pretty much ever since.
Awesome. Then there was a point in your life where you said, I'm going to go to corporate, I'm going to do the normal thing and see how it goes. What took you to make like that change?
Yeah, so when I graduated Brandeis cum laude in 2012, I always did want to get into. I wasn't sure exactly what, but definitely something more in the traditional corporate realm. And I was looking at recruiting jobs, IT jobs, IT sales jobs, some marketing jobs, some recruiting jobs, etc. And frankly, I didn't get any of the jobs I really, really wanted. And sort of my backup actually was to work for an organization, Chess in the Schools in New York, which until today is an amazing organization. They teach in 50 different public schools all around the city. And now I'm still a very big supporter of them. Friends with many people who work there, of course, and at times do some fundraising for them and whatnot. But um, yeah, and then basically, actually, my grandmother, who just actually celebrated her 94th birthday. I was just in Tucson,
Oh.
Arizona, to do that, which was such a blessing. But she basically got to the point and said, "Look, I didn't pay for college for you to teach chess full time, for an organization."
Mm.
Um, and I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm going back to the drawing board," and started my career at Oracle. And then, basically a couple of years later, I was trying to figure things out. I liked enterprise sales, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I related so much to IT people all the time, and it wasn't really that much of a passion. And in fact, my friends Sean and Laura, Sean actually is one of the directors at Chess in the Schools, and he actually met his wife Laura when she was working for Chess in the Schools at the time. And I went to their wedding, and I was basically hanging out with a lot of my former coworkers, and I basically just had a revelation saying like, wow, I relate to these people so much more than I do to like the IT people that I'm selling on a daily basis. We're talking chess, we're talking, you know, New York, we're talking this and that, all these things that, we relate to. And Laura, for instance, I know her not particularly well at the time, but, I've known her since, she was like about 13 and I was like 11, growing up in New York. So yeah, it really actually inspired me. And basically, yeah, I actually kind of in transition, I started a different company, Pillar Sales, that did sales for startups while I was teaching chess on the side. And that was fun. But then I basically decided, in July of 2017, that I would sell chess for 2 months and see what happens. And within those 2 months, we were already in 14 schools and we had 10 coaches working for us. And we just kind
Awesome.
of kept going from there.
Awesome. And so you've been in business for 6 years, a little longer.
About 6 years. Yeah. Officially, officially we incorporated September, get the exact day offhand, but September 2017. So yeah, a little over 6 years.
Awesome. This is amazing. And one of the things that I like is that you are um you have a mantra and you say um that I love that you say nobody everybody can learn chess and nobody like you don't leave anyone out. Tell us how you guys accomplish that.
Yeah, it's a good question. And one of my, as a preliminary to my answer, one of my pet peeves almost is when I hear from adults, "Oh, I wish I learned chess as a kid," or something like that. Or, "Oh, wow, I played back in elementary school and I haven't played since." Right. And that's actually relatively common in a lot of our corporate classes and private lessons for adults. That yes, they have not played, since then. Um, but that doesn't mean it's too late. And yes, another thing that we do frequently say, which is true, we really do teach, age 3 to 100 plus, of all ages and skill levels. We've taught in a lot of preschools, we work with a lot of high schools, we work with a lot of companies, we work with a lot of senior care centers, um, etc. And look, could you start chess at age 70 with like no chess experience and expect to be master. I mean, yes, it's possible, but honestly, not that likely.
Yeah.
But and likewise, yes, there are exceptions, there are prodigies, but are most 3 and 4 year olds that learn chess, going to become master in a year or two? Probably not. They're going to take a lot longer, and they may or may not ever get there. Of course. And by the way, that's one thing I'm actually pretty open about. A large majority of our clients, are actually not big chess players. Very often actually I'll have a networking call and I explain what I do, and
Yeah.
they immediately uh will actually say, "Oh, well, when I hear of a chess player, I'll think of your services," or something like that. Right. And I try to explain to them that no, that's not the point. The truth is, right, if someone is a serious chess player, for one, they probably have the coaches that they need.
Yes.
And yes, I do, for instance, have a grandmaster on our team, Grandmaster Mark Paragua. He definitely does teach, some of the more serious students that actually do want to become master and this and that. But that's an exception, rather than the norm. So, um, I guess with my long-winded response is, look, I think everyone could benefit from chess in some way. Whether it be business lessons, life lessons, just getting off, the streets. My friend Justice Williams, for instance, who I've interviewed on my podcast, is a strong international master himself, but also he has a great nonprofit where he's been teaching in prisons and other uh, low income uh, places in St. Louis, and also a little bit around the country as well. I've actually had another guy on my podcast, um, Damian Coppage, who actually was convicted of manslaughter and learned chess in jail. Now he's actually out and teaching, around New York and providing a lot of content on YouTube,
Yeah.
etc. So, yeah, I just think that
Incredible.
really it's that everyone could get
Yeah.
something out of it.
So actually, what you're saying and you're sharing a story that chess can change somebody's life to a more positive outcome.
I think so. It's all the transferable skills that it brings.
I love that. So you are also teaching not only in schools, but also in corporate. Tell me what are the benefits that the schools and the younger generations get other than becoming a master? What are the benefits of playing chess?
Hi, I'm very happy to know you are here watching our podcast today. It is an honor to be featuring so many entrepreneurs on the journeys of their inside voice, their accent that is not an accident. And we want to reach out more people like you who are creating a better world of diversity, inclusiveness, equity, and belonging. So please take a moment to hit the subscribe button below, like, and share to others. And even if you want to leave a comment, that'll be nice. Thank you for your support. And now back to the episode.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit, obviously. And yeah, I think it depends obviously on the student and the school and this and that. But if I had to sort of generalize, um, what it comes down to, the most is uh, thinking critically about decisions that's both on and off the board, of course. So, when I teach, thought process, very often, students who are a little less experienced, or frankly, even myself, when I'm playing a tournament, I'll make a move too quickly. that I was just showing a game 2 days ago to some students that I played where I actually played for the most part, I would say very well in the game, but then made one stupid quick move, and my opponent immediately got an equal position from a completely losing position. And it just shows that one bad move could ruin everything. So and that of course is the same thing in life, so yeah, I mean, like, one move is everything.
Yeah, so
So
it's helping.
just realizing that. And yeah, like when we teach thought process, I'm coming up with a scientific recipe basically to come up with the best move in a position. And that's not just in chess, but in business and life, and anything that you do.
Yes, and I like what you're saying because it helps with the part of a strategic thinking and planning. So before you make any move, make sure that all the other pieces are not going to be affected by it.
Exactly.
So I know a little bit to play chess, but I'm not near even a good player. I always have to do, I always have to ask, what do I do here? But yes, but I love it, and it takes a lot of thinking, and it actually relaxes your mind and helps you feel that in my perspective, it makes you feel more confident, more calm. Um, I think. What do you think? Am I right or?
um Honestly, it's the kind of thing that depends. There, for one, there's many different types of chess, right? There's playing online. Yes, which, if I'm playing speed chess online, it might relax my mind a bit. In fact, there are plenty of times, honestly, I'm in not the best mood, and I just, okay, let's just, you know, have fun, and drink some coffee, and play some blitz, online. That said, when I go to a tournament, it's quite the opposite. Like the last round, of this tournament that I played in Tucson the other day, that fortunately I won the tournament. I wouldn't call it a walk in the park, in the last round when I'm trying to and that's why, by the way, I make it very, very, very clear to tournament to students that if you want to know how good you are, in chess, you need to play tournaments.
Yes.
All the time, students will tell me, "Oh, I'm 1800 on chess.com or Elite Chess or whatever, right? Something online, and they'll say, "Oh, how good am I at chess?" I say, "I have no idea until you go play your first tournament.
Yes.
Then you will know how good you are." Because you're also, if I play a game online, and I lose a game and I'm tired, I stop. If I'm playing a tournament and I lose a game and I'm pissed off, you got to play the next round. So
Yeah.
it's just a whole different animal, of course.
Excellent. So another thing that I was curious about is that you open access to other people, regardless of the geography or where they are located. Are you still doing Skype or online teaching?
Yeah, so for one, we do actually have instructors in pretty much most parts of the U.S., at least most of the metropolitan areas. We have New York, Boston, uh, Chicago, California, pretty much all over. And then where we don't, yeah, we do a lot of lessons via Zoom and uh, Skype, and yeah, other virtual platforms as well.
Awesome. So I know that you are expanding. Um, I think you're also in Florida and Washington, Colorado.
Yeah, well, like I said, pretty much most parts of the country, and um, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So one of the things that I love is you are about conquer the game and master your life. Explain to me that.
Yeah, so um, I truly believe that when you're playing chess, it's a vehicle to learn uh, ways to conquer your business, conquer your life, etc. My friend Marty Katz, who has been on my podcast before, uh, likes to say that when he's actually helped me, build my marketing platform and whatnot. Just that in business, right? You can make one mistake and your biggest client. I've unfortunately experienced that pretty much before. But in chess, you make a big mistake, okay, you start again. So I think it's just a way to um, yeah, like practice decision making and constant uh, postmortems, right? So that's actually one thing that I've started to do a lot more of in the last like 2 years. Actually, I've always done it in chess, right? It's a pretty common thing. A little bit less so, unfortunately, with like computers
Yeah.
these days. That often you'll finish a tournament game, and rather than talk to your opponent, you're like immediately running to the computer and trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Um, in the past, it really actually was, common to work with your opponent afterwards and just kind of exchange ideas. And actually, when I played a tournament a few weeks ago in Philadelphia, I was actually pleasantly surprised actually by my opponent in the first round, who actually asked me like, "Do you want to do a postmortem?" I was like, "Wow, I forgot about this." you know, semi jokingly, but yeah, it was really nice. But yeah, what I wanted to actually say though is, one thing I've actually started doing is taking that into practice and in life. So like literally every single night before I go to sleep, the last thing I do is I start to think about that day a little bit more. What was good, what could have been better, both personally and business, etc. And yeah, I think I've been doing a lot better, just in
Yes.
general, because of
So
that.
what you're saying at this point is that chess can help you as an entrepreneur. Like if even though if you don't want to compete and things like that in
But
your
not just
entrepreneur
as an entrepreneur, really,
in life.
and that's why this is also an answer to your previous question. Um, how could chess help in anyone, and how do you teach yeah, like all ages and skill levels. But yeah, the truth is, everyone will, get something, out of it. Like for instance, right, a preschooler, for instance, right, might be the type that, if he gets angry, he's going to, hit another kid, for instance. Right. But something like chess could, train him that, what, there are actually different options. I don't have to like go immediately hit the other kid. I could, tell the teacher, I could tell him nicely what you're doing is wrong, or I could just ignore it, or, etc. And then, of course, in business, right? Someone who's, let's say, a stockbroker, right? Will yes, consider every different stock and figure out which one, gives the biggest return on investment. So, and yeah, right. A lot of players will, fall into sort of the trap almost of just being satisfied with an okay move, right? So very often I'll ask a beginner, "Oh, why'd you make this move?" And they'll say, "Oh, well, it was a safe move." Or "Why'd you make this trade?" "Oh, it was a safe trade, queen for
Yeah.
queen, something like that." That doesn't mean it's a good trade. That just means it's safe, right? So, there are times you want to make trades, and then there's plenty of times you don't want to make trades, right? But either way, right, whether you're going to do it or not, you need a good reason, right? That you either did it or
Yes.
did not do it.
And I love this. One of the things that I enjoy about having these conversations with different people from different trades is that everyone has a different tip on what to do and how to do different things. And this conversation has been excellent because you're telling us just think and strategically before you make a move. And that sometimes that something that not everybody has. It needs to be developed because we usually live as human beings, we live in survival mode, and we need to get out to be able to have other kind of outcomes in life. So we need to have a strategic thinking, and I believe that for what we are talking about, chess can help you develop that part of your brain.
I like to think so.
All right, so we're getting to the end of our conversation, and before we get to the end, I would like to give you the opportunity to tell our audience how they can find you and where they can contact you.
Thank you. So, for one, I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to, connect. We met recently through this organization, Gem Networking, which was fantastic. And
Thank you.
definitely great to connect. Look forward to also having you on my podcast in a little bit. Just my pleasure connecting. And I know this is a relatively new podcast, of course. So wish you much, success
Thank
with
you.
it. And thank you for allowing me to be one of the first couple of guests. So definitely appreciate that. But so if anyone wants to learn more, about chess, some of the business and life lessons that you could get. We do partner with currently 80 plus schools all over the country, both during the day and after school. We also work with Google, Citigroup, Kramer Levin, many other companies as well, doing corporate enrichment. We also teach a lot of individuals privately in camps. We also run a lot of tournaments, etc. We have a podcast, a blog, a Twitch channel, a YouTube channel. There's also many other ways to engage that don't cost $1 as well. So, we'd love for people to be in touch. Of course, you could go to our website, premierchess.com. You could go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/premierchess. Email me, evan@premierchess.com. And I always actually say the best way to reach me is just book a meeting on my calendar, calendly.com/premierchess. So, thank you for your time, and conquer the game, master your life, just like you said.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Evan. This has been delightful and a wonderful story of resilience and following your passion because you came here to this world because a great source or God loved you to be loved and love each other. Until next time, everybody. Bye.
Hi, it's Maritza here. If you like this episode of My Accent is No Accident podcast and would like to listen more like this, subscribe wherever you're listening to it or watching it. Leave us a nice review and share with your friends, family, and network. Thanks for listening.